It's summertime, so I'm gonna figure out what I'm carrying for the summer, and maybe it'll give you some ideas for your summer EDCs as well. What's going on, everybody? I'm Lamar with MFN Research, and today we are going through my, I'm gonna call it modular summertime EDC carry. Because it's hot, you don't wanna necessarily carry all the things all the time, so I'm gonna have it so it's easily set up to tailor it for what I need. So if I need a lot of stuff that day, I'm going out with the family, we're going to be out all day doing things, I'll be covered for that. If it's just me running quick errands, I'll be covered for that. And I've got a couple different bags I'm going to be trying during this time, so it's going to help out with some of that as well, switching from bag to bag. Without further ado, we're going to do a couple different categories, and we're going to start out with the core EDC components. And I feel that you have to start with your knife. For right now, it might change, but I'm going to go small, trying to keep it a little more compact, a little more lightweight. So I'm going with this Civivi Elementum fixed blade knife that I have. It's just a little guy. It's not the biggest knife in the world, but it'll do the job. And then I just got my hands on this guy. This is the Woburn G5. It's supposed to be about the same size as a Zippo. So we're gonna see if that's truly the case. We're gonna take a look at it. Stay tuned for a review on this guy later. And then as far as the multi-tool, I'm going small again. I just found out not too long ago that they upgraded this guy. So this is the next tool, Mini Sailor. I forgot what the new version is called. I think Max Level EDC had a video on the new one. I may be replacing this one with that one in the future, but for right now, this is what I'm gonna go with. I'm going to go with a smaller pen. Normally, I'm gonna go a more full-size pen. I was trying to decide on what pen I was gonna use, but I had a 3-pack of these guys. They're just some little zebra mini pens, so I'm using these. So if I lose it, no big deal. If it gets broken, no big deal. And then to go with it, you gotta have a little notebook. And keeping that theme of going small, I've just got some of these guys. Don't know what color I'm gonna use. The black is what I've been using. Orange is my favorite color, and yellow is just bright. So one of those three will go in the bag or the pouch or whatever I take, and they're just the Ride in the Rain wallet size notebooks. And then so for the wallet setup, I'm gonna probably go back and forth between these two guys. This is just the Pun Cube by Mech Wallet, maybe one or two more, stay tuned for that. And then this is just the Ranger wallet by Gundeck EDC. And then you gotta have a key fob, nothing special, just the key fob from our Jeep. We did a whole video talking about self-defense and different levels of self-defense that you can carry. I'm gonna stick with this guy for right now. That's what I'll show you. And so we just got the palm, little clip, little pepper spray. Really like how this fits. It fits in the carry, nice and easy to deploy. Been practicing with the little water canisters, and it's really efficient for me. So now let's just talk about the tech that we're gonna use along that same theme, lightweight, compact, and we're gonna start with the 10,000 milliamp hour MagSafe charger. I was gonna go with one of the Ascane chargers because they're thinner and they're smaller, but this one gives me a little bit more capacity, and it gives me the opportunity to MagSafe charge, and I can charge some of the larger devices if I have it with me. I'm always gonna have my mini USB-C cables if I have to transfer files from my phone, if I have to charge a device or something like that. This is going to be the way I'm gonna go. I always keep a couple of these around. Probably gonna order some more of these this summer too. So I think I've got like 5 or 6, but I'm gonna make sure I got a few more just in case I lose them, because some of them tend to grow legs. And then for my storage, you've seen this guy before. It's just my little mini SD card reader, just to keep it small and low profile, just to have file transfer on the go if I need it. I'm gonna go with an SSD with an enclosure at some point in time, but for right now, this is what I'm gonna roll with. I think I left them in the garage, but my AirPod Pro 2s, you've seen them in a couple videos, you've seen them in a ton of videos. I actually have talked about this little bag before. I've always talked about I'm not sure what to do with this size bag. I love the 3-pack of these guys by Tactical Geek, and I finally found something to do with the small bag. I picked up one of the little Boya mini lavalier microphones, the single set and the charger. The double set comes kind of like your AirPods or something like that in a case that charges them, but the individual comes loose. So I finally found something to do and just throw them all in there. I only need one, didn't need a dual set in case I want to do some voiceover work or something like that on the go. There are some times when I'm sitting at practice or something with my daughter or my son, and I can just knock some stuff out when I'm thinking about it, or I've got some other things coming up that I'm thinking about trying. So this may help out with that as well. And next we're gonna cover the hygiene needs that I have. This is a compact version to some degree. And again, let me say this if I haven't said this yet, I'm not carrying this stuff all the time. Even the things that you see in the categories, they're just gonna be options at my disposal given what's going on in a given day or a given week. So keeping that in mind, and I missed doing a spring EDC video where I was going to focus on a lot of the things that I use to combat allergies, but for me, unlucky or lucky for me, depending on how you want to look at it, I suffer through allergies pretty much from spring to fall. So I've got that stuff with me regardless. So some of that stuff in the spring EDC is going to make its way into this video as well. So first up, gotta have some tissue with you. So I'm gonna basically have these guys on rotation, bought a 12 pack. So as they go away, we'll get a new one to go take its place. In the car, I've just got a box of them, so I'm gonna keep those handy and ready to go. Next up, so I'm not gonna take this one with me too often. I may leave it in a backpack or something, but this is just a nasal spray. So as you get congested, you get dirt and gunk up in there from dust and grass being cut and all that crap. It's good to just rinse all that crap out. So that's what I use for this. If you don't want to use Flonase or something like that. Since I messed up my eye not too long ago, it's getting better, but I am big on keeping my eye drops in there. So these are one of probably the 3 that I use. So I got some allergy eye drops. I've got these guys and I think another pair too. So keeping the eye drops on deck is key. Different climates, ACs, it's getting dry on your eyeballs. So keeping your eyeballs hydrated is important. And then I'm gonna make sure I just have some allergy meds. I'm not gonna have the whole container, but I've got just mine, and then I've got the ones that my kids use. Luckily, my son is old enough now. Both of my kids can use the same ones, so we don't have to have different strengths anymore. So definitely happy about that. Reduces what I can carry. I'm gonna put these in some of the Altoid tins that my brother helped me make. And then next up on that allergy front, again, I think I mentioned it a few times before, my wife is big into essential oils, and she has this blend of lemon, lavender, and peppermint. These 3 guys right here, put those together and it really helps for your allergies. So you can put it in different places and it really just helps knock all that stuff out. So always going to keep that on deck. I might have all 3 bottles, might mix it together in a mixture in a smaller bottle. Don't know yet, but I'm going to have some of that with me. And then next up, you gotta have the wipes to keep yourself clean, keep yourself fresh. Just to keep a couple of them with me, we got alcohol pads, we've got hand sanitizer, we've got surface sanitizer, we've got Tide to Go, we've got foam and deodorant wipes, we've got everything you need to keep your clothes fresh, to keep you fresh, to keep yourself sanitized. We got all that stuff. So, and I like to have it in wipe form because it compresses down pretty small and you can just stuff it in a little pouch by itself and go about your business. So then I've been talking about these for a while, just the little foaming soap sheets. I love having these. You can take the whole box with you. It's not that big, or you can take some of them out to go with you just to have a few if you need to wash your hands out and about. Water bottle, some of these guys, you've got nice soap that you can use to wash your hands. So for years, I've been using the Dr. Bronner's lip balm. I think lip balm is important. I switched to this one just because it's a smaller container, and I think I really like it. So this is the Kobe beeswax. They've got different flavors. If that's your jam, go for it. But me, just stick to the plain old beeswax. And then I've got the Nivea hand cream. Use it on my hand, use it on my face, kids' hands, kids' face. Keep them moisturized and all that good stuff while we're out and about, especially going in and out of different places. And then I've got a couple of oral care. And like I said, I'm trying out some stuff for the Hygiene kit, but these are just what I'm testing right now. So one of the things I notice in a lot of EDCs is they'll have like the little mini flossers and stuff like that, but it'll just be open raw dogging in their kit. And I'm not necessarily a fan of that, having my toothpicks next to my multi-tool or my knife or something like that. So I want mine to be a little more contained. So I've got 2 solutions that I'm testing right now. And these are just the picks in this little container. And then I've got this guy, and it's like a card of floss, and it has a little mirror on the back. So one of those are going to be my go-to for this summer. So I'm testing both of those out to see. And then also, I used to carry a little bottle of mouthwash, but I found these guys. These are like individual servings of mouthwash. I'm a Listerine guy, so this doesn't give me that same burn, but it still does the job. Find the flavor that works for you. Have a couple of these on the go, and you're good to go. And then I didn't bring it, but a fingernail clipper, hangnails, broken nails, stuff like that. Some folks tend to make a big deal about having a nail clipper, but if you've ever had a 5-year-old with a broken nail, it turns into a talon, you want to keep all of your skin intact, you're gonna want some nail clippers. So this kit right here is probably the one that needs the most work, and it's just the cut and scrape kit. It's got some antibacterial ointment, it's got some burn gel, some itch gel, and some band-aids, and that's really it. What else do you think I should put in there? I'll take some recommendations on that. It's just stuff that I had in an old first aid kit. It's not expired yet, so I just threw it in there, and I'm working on adding some stuff to it. I think I'm gonna add some pain pills and maybe a couple other things, maybe some insect repellent wipes or something like that. But let me know what you guys think. So next up is the stuff you'll need to stay cool. I actually just lost my sunglasses a couple days ago. Had them for 2 years, a nice cheap little pair. So it looks like I'm in the market for a new pair, maybe 2 pair, and I want something that'll fit this head of mine. So any recommendations you guys have out there, let me know. I'd really appreciate some sunglasses recommendations. Not really looking for any $500 sunglasses, but you know, I'll spend a little bit on them. Just let me know what you think that works and that's reliable and performs well and is comfortable. This guy I used to have in my kits for years when I'd go on a motorcycle in the summertime, and this is just the buff. You can use it to cover your head, use it to cover your neck, use it to cover your face. And I've had this guy for a while. I've had a couple of them. So this one's just black. You can use it to make shade. You can use it to keep the sun off of you. It's got, I think, a SPF 50 sun blocking. So this is a good thing to carry with you if you know you're going to be out in the sun. Always keep a hat or two. I got a big head, so trying to find hats. I like odd job hats, so that's usually what I want to have on. This is not one of those, but I have a couple different hats. You've seen them in the videos. All right, so this right here is probably my newest hot weather find. My wife and my brother have all kind of jokes for it. They're like I'm a fighter getting ready to come onto the stage or something like that. But this is just a cooling hoodie neck towel type thing. So it takes the same idea that I would use for this buff right here. And what you do is you put some water in it, you squeeze it, you shake it, and it gives you a nice cooling effect. So I'm going to use this under the motorcycle when it's hot, when I'm in the garage with a cigar. Just have this guy on. And if you want a color other than black, I'd recommend that if you're going to be out in the sun with it, because it does have some, I think it's SPF 50, so it'll keep the sun off you as well. It's nice, it's lightweight, it helps keep you cool. This in conjunction with some of the other things we talk about, it'll really help keep you cool even when you get into those triple digits. So I've covered a few of them on this channel. I would show you the ceramic water bottle that I've been using, but I can't seem to find that one in the size anymore on sale. If I can find it, I'll put it in the description. But for water bottles, I've just got this guy. This is just a flat little water bottle. It's nice, small, lightweight. It'll fit into a sling, fit into a small backpack, not too big. I think it'll even fit in your back pocket too. So not too big, and hold a little bit of water, keep you hydrated, and use it for other stuff for cooling. We talked about the lemon, lavender, and peppermint earlier. This time we're going to focus just on the peppermint. What you can do is add a couple drops of that to some water. Like if you do the hoodie or the buff or something like that, put some drops of that in some water and it'll give you a nice cooling effect. You can use it in a hank or anything like that and use it as a wipe. It gives a nice cooling effect. To do when I first started doing it was I would take like a bandana or something, put some water on it, put this on, and then put it around my neck to help keep me cool. So something you might want to do, have a little bit of peppermint on you, help keep you cool. And if you're helping with them allergies, you can just use a lemon, lavender, peppermint mixture and just drop some of that on. Does double duty. And then next up, I think I talked about this a while ago. I mentioned it a couple times. These are left over from last year. I had a 2-pack. This is the one that I opened. I still got one in the box. So it's just a nice cooling neck fan. So if you use this in conjunction with the hoodie, it does dry the water out on the hoodie a little bit faster, but it feels like you have an AC on. I was outside in the garage, no fan on, just to test it out, and I had that on with this, and I felt nice and comfortable for a nice little while. So it helps create a nice little pocket climate for you, and it's nice and comfortable. And you know, some people make jokes about how you look, but again, I'm 40 plus, so I don't really care as long as I'm comfortable. And then next up, I think I'm gonna get some individually wrapped sunblock. I don't have any right now, but there's a couple I keep my eye on. I put a picture right there of the one that I think I'm gonna pick up. It's probably gonna be in my order next week. So get you some sunblock, keep the sun off you as much as you can. Gotta stay protected out there, even when you're out and about doing stuff in the sun. So now you got all this stuff. How are you going to carry it? So I've got a couple options up here that I'm gonna show you that I'm working through that I might carry, and let's see if I can find the first one. So first up, Maxpedition did send me this out. This is the Platy. I'm not gonna go into detail on it here because it's got other stuff in here. I'm testing it out for another video, so we'll talk about that in the future. Just throw it over there. Next up, some of these things you might have seen from some other videos. This one, I really liked it from going small. I used it in my budget EDC and then came back and used it in my budget EDC under $50, and I really like this little guy. It's a little belt pouch, so if you got a belt on, you can just slip it through these loops and you can just wear that, and that can hold everything you need. And then I've also got the Viperade VE26. I was gonna use this as my hygiene pouch for this year, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna do that. I think I have one that I just picked up that I might like a little bit better for that. So we'll see, we'll compare them out and we'll see what happens in the hygiene pouch video. This one was in my budget EDC video as well, and this has become a hidden favorite for the price. You can't beat this little guy. I'm really a big fan of this guy. This is the Viperate CHW2. It's a nice little crossbody sling. You can use it as a pouch. Options are endless with this guy, and I just love the low profile. Another one I've done a video on is just this guy. This is just the TomTok T35. This is a nice, good little sling. I think a sling, probably a smaller sling, closer to the 3 liter and below is probably the way to go for the summertime. So something like this, I'd recommend as well. The last sling that I've got over here that I'm going to recommend, this is the Tactical Geek L3C Cash. I messed that up a couple times in the video, messed it up a couple times in the description. I'm going to put it in the description the correct way, but I really like this guy too. And when we're talking modularity, you've got the hook and loop, and that's going to be the modularity king for me. So I think as far as a full loadout, this might be the way I go, with 2 exceptions. If I need to carry something else like my iPad, I'm going to have 2 more exceptions. So, and this is just this little guy, flight backpack from Cabin Zero. I think it's 12 liters or something like that. Small little backpack, not too big. It's got tons of mesh on the back. I may do a full review of it too as well, but just to hold all my little stuff in here, in my little pouches, and it's got a little laptop compartment. So we may do something like that. But if I am going to the beach, if I'm going to the pool, there's 1 bag I'm carrying and 1 bag alone, and it's got some of the extra stuff that I had in the video for it. So this is the Rough Enough tote right here. It's a mess right now because I just picked it up off the floor. But this tote right here, I use pretty much every summer. Holding towels, change of clothes, snacks, all that good stuff. So definitely something to consider if you got some beach days in your future. Maybe a tote might be the way to go. And so for the last category, I need some help. There's some things that I've got my eye on that I'm considering that I haven't had experience with, and I just wanted to know if anybody out there had experience with them. And first, it's just an electric bug bite tool. So I guess the way it's supposed to work is you put it on the bug bite as soon as you get it, and it's supposed to use like heat or electricity to help remove the sting of a bug bite. Dealing with kids and bug bites are always going to be a thing. My son had one the other day, and I swear he wouldn't go to sleep until I put something on it to help him feel better. So did that and he was good to go. So something like this might work. I'm thinking about trying some open earbuds. I think Basis has some that I've recommended. Soundcore has some. There's tons of them out there. I think Sony has some. So let me know what your experience is. I've heard good things about the Basis ones, and I heard some good things about the Soundcore ones. So let me know some other recommendations for those out there. I want to use some of those when I'm outside, and I don't want to necessarily use transparency mode on my AirPods. So next, I'm thinking is maybe we need some insect repellent. Yeah, you can spray it on, but I'm thinking about Nightcore has these little insect repellents to help create like a little barrier or a radius, if you will, of bug repellency or something, if that's even a word. And I'm thinking about picking one of those up when we're out in the backyard or out, like my wife's in the garden doing stuff, so that way she can just put that up and set her own little perimeter. So thinking about something like that. Let me know if you have any experience with that. And I've been seeing these loop earplugs. I don't know if it's just because it's marketing and they're doing brand deals or what, but they've kind of caught my eye. I'm kind of interested in those for a couple different scenarios. 1 being the range, 2 being sleeping, and 3 being the motorcycle. So let me know if you've had some experience with the loop earplugs. Let me know what you think about those guys. And I mentioned it before, apparently I'm in the market for some new sunglasses. So again, I'll need some recommendations for those. So again, I'm not taking all this stuff with me all the time. So EDC police, you can be calm. I'm gonna only take what I think I need. And again, it's not gonna be in my pocket, sorry, because I'm a pouch, backpack, sling kind of guy. But again, that's what I've got. Those are some of the things that I'm gonna have in the summertime for me, the kids, and my wife, while we're out and about, doing things, having fun, enjoying the summer. Even though it's gonna be hot, still try to be comfortable and cool and have as much fun as we can. As always, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. I'm Lamar with MFN Research. There's some videos on the screen. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'm out.